adjusting the top.
Sorry, everybody, if anybody's there yet.
Let's just see. A few seconds ago. 1.
Oh look,
Who is it?
I was adjusting my top.
Say hello, whoever it is. I need to ring this up so that the comments should now be side. Turn that down, and the show should be on the road. I wonder who's here.
Is anybody here? Hello, everybody. Anybody?
4 people.
Hello,
we need to
4
know
people.
who you are. Who has joined
Let us
us
know who's here.
on this very special episode, actually, because we normally wouldn't do one quite so quickly. It would normally be on a non-podcast week, but because of some very cool filming that we've got coming up, which we can say, well, I'll say a little bit more about it at the end of the show.
I thought you were going to tell everybody then. Oh, Helena, Sasha's here.
Yay!
Sasha, are you okay?
Good morning, everybody.
Helena. I was just thinking about you today, Helena, because I was looking through the finished objects and I came across some of your toys. Oh,
She's amazing.
You are amazing.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like, she's like Mrs. Claus.
I know. Oh, I'd love to just sit and
How
watch
did you learn
knit.
to make such amazing toys?
Yeah, they're fantastic.
It takes such skill, and I feel like I can speak now from a modicum, a teeny tiny...
You have knit a toy.
I have knit a toy, and what I know is to bring them to life is unbelievably difficult.
It is, to put that character in. I think it's quite a tricky thing.
And I think I felt like when I was knitting that, and I don't know what you think, Helena. Kay's here too, and Helen's here. Helen Morton.
Suzanne's here. Suzanne, I was watching you dance this morning.
Oh, yes.
Hilarious.
I need to see this. Lisa Brittingham's here. Courtney Coleman's here. Good morning from Texas.
Oh.
Yeah, Helena.
I love making toys as well. And oh, Helena, I've just bought the most amazing pattern. And I wish I'd brought it down to show you. It's called Sven Scandinavian. If you know Laurie Times5 on Instagram, go check out her Instagram feed because she's just made one. It is the most adorable little old man. Oh my gosh. And I've just got the pattern, so can't wait.
Someone has just said good morning to us.
Jeanette.
Or good afternoon. Yeah, hi Jeanette. Hi Jeanette. Rebecca Webster, who I know has just got into the group. Rebecca, you said good afternoon. Are you being really clever there and being nice to us? Or are you in a time zone where it is the afternoon?
Maybe so.
Ooh, I'm slightly interested now.
Yes.
It's not very often that we talk to people apart from
Vanessa
Jeanette.
in Florida. Hello,
Yay.
Vanessa. Oh.
Penelope Dubois has got a case of the
Penny.
ooze.
Oh, hi, Penny.
Hello.
Oh, you got your shopping done yesterday.
Yes.
That made me laugh, Penny, that message.
How funny is that? That's so great. I love it. And how warm is it in Florida? I bet it's super warm.
It's gonna be super massively hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Super massively.
But is it a dry heat or is it a wet heat? Wasn't that interesting? Wasn't that interesting to
I
establish?
imagine it's quite humid in Florida because of the swamps. Is that the right thing? You know what I mean, but there is...
The marsh.
No, Florida...
You're thinking Dexter, aren't you?
Yeah, I am thinking Dexter.
Yeah, I knew she was.
It always looks humid on Dexter. What do I know?
Is it? It would be really interesting to know if it's a dry heat or a wet heat, because we definitely established that when it's a dry heat, we're pretty cool with it. I think the beauty of a dry heat is if you get out the sun, it's bearable.
It is. It's the humidity, isn't it, that's dreadful. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, we don't half cop it though, don't we? Whenever we say anything about the weather.
We get told off, don't we? That's not hot.
It's normally all over...
It's hot for us. Yeah.
It's all over Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah,
People sort of chuckling away. Someone posted on one where we were complaining about being hot, someone had said, well, take your sweater off then. Do you remember?
Pardon?
No, it didn't mean it like that. I think they were meaning wear something different.
Oh, right.
But you had on that, like, super holy...
Oh, is it cotton? It's cotton.
I know.
Full of holes.
I know.
I mean, yeah.
So,
I'm having a cup of tea. Is anybody else having a lovely cup of tea?
Rebecca, look at the message. That's really cool. Look, we're getting times coming up now.
79. Gosh, yeah. I thought it'd be hotter than that, Vanessa. I don't know what. I thought it'd be like in the 90s. But 79 would be absolutely boiling for us.
It really would. What's that in real money?
It's like in the 20s, mid to late 20s, isn't it? 79. Mid-20s. Yeah.
I wake up on a morning and I gauge what I'm going to wear for my run. So I have a little look at the weather, and if it's anything over 16, I'm like, oh no.
Centigrade. This is we work in centigrade here. Fahrenheit's a bit of a mystery for us.
Yeah. What is that?
No idea.
I've no clue.
All I know is that I like it about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything above 70 Fahrenheit tends to be too hot for me. I couldn't tell you what that is. It's not even 20 degrees probably.
No.
I'm a wimp. What can I say?
So this is a super special episode. We thought we would give it a bit of a focus, and that focus, Kay has brought along the Longbourn and the Bits and Bobs blanket. Oh. And as I say that, I shall also say hello to Andrew Robinson.
Oh.
Yes.
Angie's here. Hello, Angie. Oh.
So Kay's brought along, and we'll be talking a little bit about the Longbourn, a little bit about the Bits and Bobs, and it's also an opportunity for you because something that's become a lot more. Something that I'm becoming more interested in, shall we say, is after we had, did you see on the podcast in episode 79, when literally just 2 steps from where we're sat now, that's where the moment happened.
The moment?
Yes, when the Messalina cowl was born.
Was it here?
I was stood there, you were stood over there,
Really?
and you wrote on the table right here.
I wrote on the table?
No, on a piece of paper.
I'm going to say,
But you rested
that's a bit
down.
desperate, isn't it?
You rested down on the table there. And
Gosh, did I?
You did. And it's piqued my interest because I've got no clue about how you. I can picture things in my mind as what I want to appear in my knitting.
Yeah.
But I sort of don't have wouldn't have a clue. Like, in here, I'm so excited about this project, folks. And, Kay's like laughing at me because I've done like 5 or 6 rows. This is it's the Messalina cowl. And I think what I'm loving about this is I'm loving the fact that I've just turned it the wrong way around and I'm about to start doing some short rows. But what I'm loving is perfect bag. I know I've gone about this. Perfect yarn. And also this great design. And
I've really just scribbled it down. I'm surprised you can even understand it.
Kay always used to say, I used to play a lot in bands and I would regularly have to transcribe drum parts. And Kay would look at it and she'd be like, wow, I've no clue the symbols and the shapes that you're writing down and what it all means. And I think it's amazing. I am equally as amazed seeing me say, oh, this would look nice, and what about that? And then you'll say, oh, we'll try a bit of this. And then suddenly on a page, it all starts to appear. So if you have any interesting questions you would like to ask with regards to designing in general, and also particularly with the Bits and Bobs, which we've had an interesting 24 hours with Bits and Bobs as the design progresses further.
I hit a tiny little wall yesterday. I thought I'd figured out the border. Because I've done about 1 billion swatches of this blanket, I'll be honest with you.
I'm covered in them.
And I thought I'd figured out the border. I tried it on like little miniature swatches and I thought, yeah, that's great. And then actually I did another swatch yesterday, which I'll show you, just to try out the border. So I started the border and I said to Dan, this is not right, it doesn't look right. So I had a very frustrating few hours yesterday, but then I figured it out right before bed. I thought, I've got to figure this out before bed because I'll not be able to sleep. And I worked it out, didn't I? And I think it's okay now, I think. Just one or two tiny little tweaks I need to make. And I probably will just do another swatch and another check of the border. It seems like a very simple pattern on the face of it, but that's the thing, isn't it, with patterns? They look terribly simple sometimes, but there's a lot of work gone into them to make it simple. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'll show you this.
No, hold on.
Shall I not show it now?
Before you do that, because we'll get kicked off into that.
Oh,
but we've
Linda
already.
in Somerset.
Yes.
It's wet in Somerset.
Oh dear.
Is it?
Oh, my mum will not be happy.
She won't be happy.
We've had a question already, and it's from Kay.
Kay. Beautiful name, Kay.
I know.
There's not many of us around, is there?
There isn't.
I've said that before.
No, there isn't. It's a very old name, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I don't mean people who have it are old. I don't mean that.
I think it was just a shortened version of Catherine. I think it was like a nickname for Catherine.
I think it's quite old-fashioned though.
It probably
that's cool.
is. It probably is quite old-fashioned, yeah. But when I worked in the bank, there was 3 Ks, all the same kind of age. It was very confusing.
But Kay's asked a question, and what we'll do is I'll just make a note of that.
Yeah.
So we remember when we get those out later on to answer it. Right.
Northampton, UK. Yeah. Do you know, I don't think I've ever been to Northampton, Judith. Have I ever been to Northampton?
What's a big town in Northampton?
Yeah.
Northampton?
Northampton.
That's a town.
No, that's the county, isn't it?
I thought it's Northamptonshire.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What are we like, us northerners? We know nothing about south of Birmingham.
I mean, what's interesting is for a while I was doing a job where I was travelling an awful lot, and it's a part of the world that I never ever went to.
Okay, yeah, you're right. No, Kay's right. Sir Kay was in the Arthur.
There you
go. Kay is a male name as well, isn't it? Yeah.
I remember that in the film Excalibur, which I love. I
Right.
love that film. It's great. But before we get to all that stuff, we've got 2 sections we've got to get through, and it's very exciting. You join us. You join us at a very exciting moment. No, that's right. I always say to Kay, don't bang the table.
Always tells me off for doing that.
She has a for doing this, and it sends vibrations through.
You're like he just did.
I know. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's all right, cuddling me.
The fog-along. We have reached an absolutely huge moment in the fog-along. We are 6 months in, so we are at the halfway point, and it's time to award some very special prizes.
Yes.
Now, before we do that, we need to just touch base with where we are.
Yes.
How many miles have we travelled, and what countries are we in?
Yep.
Well, the runners have travelled 14,103.78 miles. 0.78 is very important.
Yeah.
And we are in, or we were in, we have actually progressed past this now. This is, remember, it's for the end of
you there
last
last
month.
time?
No. But it's for the end of June. And I said, not on the last part. The last part, this is when I give the official.
Okay.
The official time check. We're in Mandalay in Burma, but we hadn't said how far the knitters had travelled. And the knitters have absolutely flown the last month and a half.
Yeah.
In the last 6 weeks, more miles than I've seen
I was adding up
at any point.
because I add up all the miles right before we do the pop. I sort of add in the ones from the previous month. It will be, won't it? There was masses today when I added them up. There was like 150 finished posts, and a lot of the posts had more than one thing in as well.
Yeah. I just have to write down another question from Angie.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cool. So I've got that one down as well. So 39,921 miles is how far the knitters have gone. They've actually, since the last check, covered 10,000 miles.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing.
the most I've ever...
Wow.
Yes.
And I always sort of presumed that knitting slows down a bit in the summer.
Well,
Isn't
clearly
that
not.
funny?
Clearly not with all of
A lot
us.
of people do say that though, when it's in the summer, it gets hot, you get busy with your children in the summer and things like that. But gosh, that's amazing.
I know. So Canada is where the knitters are. I haven't had time to pinpoint exactly where it is, but I will do that over the next 48 hours and let you know.
It's a huge country.
It is. But as we're at the 6 month point, like we said before, every quarter we will do a few little prizes before we do a grand prize awarding at the end of the year. And we're at the end of another quarter.
Yeah.
And as we're at the 6 month point, we thought that we wouldn't just award prizes for the quarter. We would also, as I'm sure you'll have seen on the podcast, we're going to award some most valuable player prizes.
Yeah.
And that's the first time we're going to award a prize for the running group. And of course, we're going to award a most valuable player for the knitting group. But shall we start with just the normal quarterly prizes for the fog-along?
Right.
Who's won what?
Quarterly, right,
So
let me
not
get
the special
organised.
winner.
Not the, so it's these ones, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is the random number that I've drawn, isn't it, for
Yes.
the quarter?
So it's random
Got
number
to
draw.
get me facts straight.
Yes.
Listen to me, me facts straight.
You've gone all Yorkshire.
I've gone all Yorkshire on you. Right, so I did random number. We've got 2 prizes.
Cool.
I did random number from 680. That was the 1st of April. Through to number 1057, and that was at the very end of June.
Right.
So it covers those 3 months. And the first number I drew was number 835. Now, I know this lady quite well because I post yarn to her fairly often, but I'll be honest, I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Ace.
I always call
Ace.
you, when I'm writing out your address, I always say Asa.
Maybe that's it.
It's AASE.
Oh, result.
And she's in Norway,
Amazing.
which I always love writing out your labels to Norway. So I'm sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong, but I like calling you Asa.
You can maybe help us out.
wrong.
You should message us and tell us phonetically how we should pronounce it. What did she win?
You've won, and this is so appropriate for Norway, you've won some Nicole C. Mendes yarn. And the colourway name is Burr It's Cold. Going to Norway. Just perfect, I think. I'm holding it so that hopefully both cameras can see it. And it's self-striping, I believe. This yarn base feels fabulous. I've never felt a base like this in any other yarn dyers, and it's 80% merino extra fine virgin wool and 20% polyamide, which I think is like nylon, 400 meters, and these beautiful icy colours. It's gorgeous. So that's yours, Asa. I've probably got your address from Etsy, but would you mind just sending me a message on Ravelry and just confirming it to me, just in case it might have changed? So that's the first one.
Cool.
And then the second number I drew was number 776. And that is someone else we know very well, and that's Mama C.
Yay!
And that's Christina I think you're in Washington. I hope I've got that right.
Lives near a huge lake.
Oh, right.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that she has to catch a boat to get to her house.
Oh my gosh.
It's very impressive.
That is impressive. So, Christina, you've won a lovely set of minis from Fondant Fibre.
Yay!
So, if you want, perfect for the bits and bobs. So, if you want it again, just send me a message on Ravelry with your address, and I'll get both of these prizes out to you as soon as I've got your addresses. So that's those.
Cool. And what I shall do now is,
Yeah.
because you just spoke for a little bit there, is I will tell the most valuable runner.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yes. So now we're moving on to our special 6 monthly prizes for most valuable player. And Kay has picked someone specifically from the knitters team,
Yep.
and I have picked someone specifically from the running team. And it's been a tricky decision, because in every group there's real standout performers from Heidi and Sarah Holmes in group 1, and of course I could include myself in group 1 as well.
Well, you could.
But I won't.
That'd be a bit vain, wouldn't it? I'm
Lisa-
so wonderful.
Lisa Lessard in
Who's
group
just
2.
got her daughter back home.
I know, how lucky are you.
Yay,
Yes.
Sophia's home.
Yeah, and Sophia will be watching this as well at some point.
Ah.
Yeah, so hi Sophia.
She's probably a bit jet lagged.
Yes. So Lisa, you're doing just superbly well. Darina in group 3 is doing superb.
Darina.
June Volstad, who I know is
Darina.
here because I saw her saying hello. She's just said beautiful prizes. Congrats to the winners.
Yay.
June, I feel bad now. I wish I picked you. There is a standout winner though. June, you've been absolutely creaming it. I mean, so impressive.
Wow.
And if she has like a moment off, she's like apologising to everyone. So I'm so sorry. You're doing
Good for
amazing.
you, June. Well done.
I'm sure it's June and her husband who go out, which is great. In group 5, Eileen has been doing superbly well.
Come on, Eileen. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Had to. Sorry.
Pat Hensley as well is doing superbly well. Melanie Wilkening in group 6. But the standout winner is someone who not only is performing amazingly herself,
Yeah.
she's covering loads of miles, she also built up a team.
She has.
She has a team of people that she musters up and sets them off out. They each have their own Runkeeper account.
Yeah.
So all their miles are logging perfectly and effectively. It's the only team that I'm aware of.
Oh,
We're
what
back. Hopefully
happened?
we're back.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
We just had a moment where it said video interrupted. So hopefully you've got us back again. Just check in. I'll just check around the other side.
Oh,
and
it's
make
sort of
sure.
glitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay this side.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks fine this side.
Right.
Let's just check in. Check in.
Oh, right. Lost you, but you're back.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool,
Great.
you're back, but you're blurry.
Blurry.
Right.
It looks blurry to me there. It's like, oh
Right,
no,
video
what is
interrupted.
going on?
Should resume.
It was only a moment.
I wonder if back for me.
It was
It's
just
just
2
2
secs.
The broadcast has been paused.
It should resume shortly, it says there. But it
Yeah.
hasn't.
Just a brief pause.
You're there, a wee bit blurry.
This is strange because do you know what?
What?
It might be the door.
The door?
We're blocking the signal to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, right. Well, I didn't know that.
We need a nice clear signal.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's still just a blip. I mean, everyone's saying just a blip, so you're back but a bit blurry.
Oh, we love you even blurry. Oh, you're clear again. Oh, but Sasha says it's clear. Good now, Helena. Oh, right, okay.
Okay. Live video interrupted.
That's strange.
This is very strange. What I will do, so if you can
Oh,
still...
the joy of life.
Yeah, I know, and the interesting thing is we are exploring at post haste the Patreon option, and this potentially is the last planned one that we're going to broadcast on Facebook, and we're going to put it live onto Patreon.
Oh, that looks okay.
I mean, yeah.
Right,
I wonder.
well, we shall carry on regardless.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, so I think what we've done. Apologies there for the
Sorry,
slight blip.
folks.
I think what we've clarified is things do seem to be okay. It's just our end that it's not. But you need to see the comments, so I'll leave that up.
The comments are still coming up, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, It's just us. We're the only ones causing the problem. So we'll just be quiet and get on with it.
Yes.
I've held someone on waiting so long. I'm just going to tell you who the most valuable player for the running team is. It is the rather amazing Erica Luda.
Erica.
And what you have won is rather special.
Well, there's two little things, Erica. I don't know if you're watching live, but the first one is I've got a little notions pouch that I made a little while ago. I've got this like little stash of sewn things that I've just never done anything with, and I kind of keep them for when I want to, you know, to give somebody something nice. So there's a little notions pouch with cute little animals on. And also, we were in York yesterday, and there's a new Harry Potter shop opened up, and of course we went in and we picked something up for you, Erica. Look, you're the Quidditch captain. Yeah. So I'll send you those. I'm sure I've got your address. Yippee. So I will get those sent out to you. Yay!
Now, if anyone is watching and they've got issues with audio and visual off, or any slight issues, remember we will be putting out a recording of the show, which will go live within 48 hours of its finishing. And also as well, the Facebook recording should stay good. So once the live is finished, it should be absolutely fine. It's synchronised. Cool.
Oh, right. Right.
Oh, that's good advice. Close out the video really quickly and reopen it. Should fix it up.
Okay.
And hello, Shelby.
Shelby, what a lovely name.
Yes, I know.
Don't know any Shelbys. I do now.
Yes, Shelby. She's recently joined the group.
Oh.
And I thought the same thing about your name. But of course, when I think of Shelby, I think of the car maker.
Car maker?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a car.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now
American? Is it American?
Yeah, I think so. Or is it Australian? I can't remember. Anyway. So those are our extra special prize.
I've got one.
Oh! I'm sorry.
Stop it!
I'm sorry.
I've got one too.
The Knitter's most valuable
most valuable player. This was an impossible task. Can I just tell you, impossible, because there were so many. You're all fantastic, and so many people with multiple, entries all the time. But I had to choose one, so I thought, right, I'm going to choose one whose projects just kind of jump out at me. And there was one person who posts, every time she posts like mitered squares that she's knit, it's not just one or two, it's like 54 or 60. Plus, she's also knit loads of other things. So I'll tell you who it is first, and then I'll tell you what she's knit this last quarter. And that person is Nicole C. Mendez. I don't know if you're watching now, Nicole, or the recorded, but that's my person of choice.
Yay! What's she won?
Well, first of all, she knit 2 bunnies. She knit a Mild Magic. She's knit 149 mitered square, 6 pairs of socks, a beautiful jumper called the Light Rain, absolutely gorgeous. She knit the Ho-He wrap, the mystery wrap, and she knit Glitz at the Ritz, which is a shawl. So fantastic array of projects.
Amazing.
And what you've won, Nicole, is a skein of my yarn. This is a colourway that I actually dyed when I was doing a little custom dye for someone special who is watching, and this is one of the colourways that was the first sort of try, which came out lovely but not quite right for what we wanted it for. So you've won a lovely skein of yarn, and now I've given this a name and I've called it Soft Kitty. There's a person out there who will understand why I've named it this, but it's this kind of greyish, beigeish with some beautiful pink in it. So Nicole, that's yours. So if you can just send me your address, then I'll get that sent out to you.
Cool. So that is our rather special halfway point little marker for the Foggle. And can I just say, what an absolute thrill it is being part of this.
Yeah.
And I can speak from someone who's going out there every day and running.
You are.
And seeing all the people who are out there doing the same thing. And I know it's the same with Kay, with the knitting. it's so cool to think that we're all over the world, but we're all together, aren't we?
Yeah.
As one great big team.
Absolutely.
And it's so lovely to be, seeing maybe Marlisha or Talia's runs and giving them a bit of, well done you and all that. And, it's like you're actually there with them. It's just great. So thank you all for taking part. Now, I did enjoy this month's Cooking the World, Kay.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I've read that butter tarts, which is what we made, Canadian butter tarts, there is some debate in Canada as to what makes... Yes.
Raisins.
Raisins,
I
but
understand
also,
it's very controversial.
Raisins, and also, should they be firm or soft?
Oh,
So
right.
that would be then how long you've cooked them for, yeah?
I guess. I don't
So
know
if you
how
cook them
you
for
would
less
make
time-
them firm or soft. I'm not sure.
Someone said runny.
Runny.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'd be runny if you bake them because it's got egg in there and and
That
the egg will set. Yeah. So I'm not sure about that. But the raisins, we did put raisins in. So I don't know whether that's right or wrong.
And what's been so interesting is I know on the Cooking the World that we spoke about and we mentioned that it was similar to the Scottish Eckelfecken.
Yes.
And after the episode, we actually looked it up.
Yeah.
And it's virtually the same.
It is. It's very, very similar in terms of the ingredients that go in there. The Eckelfecken tart usually does have lemon zest in it and lemon juice, and doesn't have vanilla. It's kind of those two ingredients are swapped.
So in summary of all of that, I don't think it makes a lot of sense that we make Eckelfeckens when we cook the World Scotland.
No,
but I think we should cook the World Scotland. Don't you?
Yes.
Yes. So we will finish up because that will
I'm not doing haggis.
No.
I'll tell you that now.
Look, Suzanne. Butter tarts.
Marlisha. Oh, hi, Marlisha.
My mum left them runny. We had no raisins or nuts.
All right.
Marlisha, I've just been talking about you. Your ears must have been burning.
Yes.
It was all good stuff. You and Talia and your amazing fog runs. So, Cooking the World will be back on the 31st of August.
Yeah.
We'll be doubling back and covering some of the countries that we've already run through.
Right.
And we've yet to decide what savoury course we'll be having. But it might be nice to have something from somewhere slightly odd. Somewhere... something Himalayan or...
Himalayan?
I wonder...
What on earth do they eat in the Himalayas?
Goat and stews, probably.
Oh, I couldn't possibly do goat.
Or you could just put lamb in instead.
I wouldn't even know where you got goat.
But it's getting popular again, isn't it?
I was watching a programme the other night and it was about this small company that actually made products out of kid leather, which is obviously the skin of a goat. And he said that they get their skins from, like a goat butchers, and they were saying that it's becoming really, really popular. I think it's quite a healthy meat.
Yeah.
In terms of, cholesterol and fat and things.
Yeah. So, Cooking the World, back on the 31st of August. We'll let you know as soon as we do what we'll be cooking. But we're now moving into today's special focus of the P.O.P, and that is some of these lovely patterns that you've been working on, and any questions that you have, whether it be directly about those patterns or about designing in general. Now, we've had two already.
Yeah.
And perhaps we should start with that one.
Okay.
So the question was, with regards to the bits and bobs, is there lots and lots of ends to weave in?
There are ends to weave in, but do not cry out in fear, because they're really easy to weave in. It's not like a mitered square. I don't think it's like a mitered square blanket, the way that you weave the ends in. I will be doing, when I put the pattern out, I'm going to be doing, I think 4 little video tutorials will be embedded into the pattern, and one of those will be showing you how I weave the ends in. I've got the blanket here and I'll just see if I've got any ends. I've been weaving them in as I've gone along, but I don't know if... Oh, I have got 2 ends, so I can kind of show you. So you end up... Oh, it's massive, everybody.
Show some this side if you need to.
No, there we go, right.
If you just hold it up here, it'll be good for everybody.
So, like that?
Yeah.
So where you join in a new yarn, so this is the foreground colour, so this is where you use all your bits and bobs, all your, your scrap yarn and minis and such. I tie one to the other and then just carry on knitting, and then once I've knit a little bit more, I will go back and weave those in. But it's really easy because you've got these, all your sort of prominent V-stitches going down here. it's very easy to just weave in and out and in and out, and it honestly takes seconds to weave in those two ends. I really enjoy doing it. I know that probably sounds a bit weird. I don't find it a chore, but I do tend to do it as I go along.
But it's clearly very different to weaving
it's not the
on
same.
a mitered square.
I don't find it the same as weaving in ends on a mitered square. No, it's not as finicky because of the way that you weave in. I just don't find it as as annoying, I suppose, because people find it annoying, don't they, to weave the ends in. So the answer is yes, you do have ends to weave in, each time you change your mini out. So for example, can you see this green section here? This was a 20-gram mini. So that's how far 20 grams got me. And then obviously you'll change, and then you'll have two ends there to weave in. But it's really not a bother. I didn't find it to be a bother.
For anyone who's not caught episode 79 yet, this is Kay's Bits and Bobs blanket, which is a new design.
Oh, you might not have seen it.
It's a new design which will be going out later on this year.
Molly's just asked what weight of yarn it uses. It's actually fingering weight held doubled. Saying that, you could actually use any weight of yarn. You would just need to adjust your needle size and adjust the stitch count to accommodate that. One of my swatches that I actually did, I used a DK weight and a lace weight held together. So it really is up to you. It's so adaptable. You can do absolutely whatever you want. If you've got masses and masses of DK weight leftovers, then all you'd need to do is get yarn, for your background colour, and you could do it in DK weight, and you just need to change your needle size.
Someone's just asked actually about background colour and the types of yardage that you need.
Right, the yardage. I didn't go into a lot of detail on the main podcast, and I'll tell you all why I didn't. It's because in the past, when I've spoken about designs, in particular my Stitching Time blanket, I showed that on the podcast, and my intention was to put out a pattern for that. But subsequently, when I showed it, people started knitting them just themselves. And that's fine, and I've not got a problem with that. But then I found it then difficult after that for me to then put a pattern out when people were already knitting them. So that's why I've not shown this until it's almost finished, and also why I've not been very specific about things.
What's been very interesting about this project is it's the first time in a long time that I've had to physically remove you from a project because you were knitting on it so much.
Yeah, I would have honestly just knit on this and nothing else.
It's hilarious, and that's how this got to a point where it was actually, because it was so weighty when you...
Yeah.
This was causing an issue with your arm, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you damaged your arm when you were out doing some gardening.
Yeah, I hurt my arm when I was gardening, and then because I was knitting on this and it was heavy, just kind of moving it a little bit and things.
But she's still like, no.
But I was still doing it. I was still doing it.
I've never seen her so...
My arm's much better now, actually. I think it's getting better.
You said on episode 79 about it being a Zen knit, and it must be.
It really is. It really is. So, yes, in terms of yardage, I will have used, for the background yarn, I will have used 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn. So it's about 2,000 metres. So is that, 400 metres a skein, and I've used 5. Now I actually used 4 different colours, sort of graduating. So I used like 1 and a bit skeins of each. But if you've got 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn, you could use all the same yarn for the background, or you could just choose 5 fingering weight yarns that you really liked the look of together and just use those for the background. You could use mohair. I've actually done a swatch, a cast on. I wanted to check the size for putting details in for making a wrap. So this one is fingering weight and then Kid Silk Haze held double. You need to just decrease your needle size a little bit if you use Kid Silk Haze, but all these things I'm going to put into the pattern. But that produces a beautiful fabric. Can you see the fluff?
Wow.
It's so soft and fluffy. So there's so many options, you can make this whatever you want to make it. So altogether I will have used about 4,000 metres of yarn. 2,000 for the background colour, 2,000 for all your minis and scraps and what have you. So.
Just while I just talk about another question that was asked earlier by Kay, grab the Longbourn actually, because it would be cool just to have a look at one or two little bits on there. Kay asked earlier on, not Kay, but Kay who's watching, asked earlier on if you draw out your patterns.
I do, generally I do, yeah. I think I always have. I'm trying to think of any patterns where I might not have done that. I think I always do, even if it's just such a rubbishy sketch, no one can understand what it is. But I do generally draw.
I can tell you one that you didn't draw out.
Which?
You didn't draw out the Longbourn.
I think I did. I just don't think I kept it.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
I think I did to sketch it out, but as I said before, it might have just been on a little scrap of paper, and then, you know, once I've knit it, I've probably just got rid of it.
Well, also as well, as we've done this behind the scenes series, and we're going to be carrying on with that. We're going to do some more of those next week, or is it the week after, in the run up to the launch of the pattern?
Yeah.
It is next week, is it?
Is that next?
No, it's the week after next.
The week after, yeah. The pattern comes out on the 4th.
Yeah. So the week after next, we're going to be doing 2 more behind the scenes. But we've already done 2. In the first one, we spoke in depth.
Yes, so that's my Longbourn. So yes, I did draw it out. I knew I wanted it to have increases, like, you know, 2 increases. So I knew I wanted a centre panel coming out like that, and I knew I wanted stocking stitch either side, and I wanted this little stitch that looked like little butterflies. And then I knew I wanted some kind of cable applied border. So all of that was sketched out, not in any detail, but just to give me, you know, to remind me what my initial thought was. And then, yeah, and then I did a swatch for this, you know, for the butterfly stitch. I did several swatches actually until I got the right technique to make the neatest little butterfly. And then away I went.
Marlies has just said that you should keep all your drawings for posterity. If you did, Marlies, we would be knee deep.
I don't have the space.
What she does have is
she
has a little book.
I've got several books that
right.
I've got. Yeah,
you should watch the first part of the behind the scenes, Marlies. I think you'd really enjoy it because you talk at length about the design process, and you know you show a little bit of the book with your patterns in. Yeah. And you know the early stages of those patterns. So she does have some, but the scraps that you tend to produce when you're out and about, those don't get kept quite.
No, what I should do really is sellotape them into the book. I know I should do that, but you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
We have a question about a bakery bear.
Ah.
Talina Dunham. Hello, Talina, who's getting ready for bed in Australia.
Gosh.
Her son loves his bakery bear.
Yeah.
And he'd like a big one.
Right.
Who was it who knit that huge one?
Somebody did, yeah.
I have to try and remember. I've never seen a post actually for a long time. If I were to knit with 12 ply chunky yarn, what size needles do you think? I'm glad you said that, Selena, because it will be think.
Right. Well, chunky yarn is normally sort of 6mm, isn't it? 6 to 6.5mm. If it was me personally, I would probably use 5mm because I like a really nice dense fabric. And I think a 5mm and a chunky yarn would be about right. But what I would probably do is just try a little swatch, you know, or even, you know, just do like the ear, for example, which is a tiny little thing, isn't it? So you could just try the ear out with that needle size and see just how it felt working the stitches on that needle size. And if it felt too loose, just go down one. But I would say about a 5mm.
Can you? I'm sorry to be gazing over so longingly, but I get
at me.
Well, of course, always. That's cables, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. Why is it my eye gets drawn to cables? I love them.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm loving this Messalina cowl that I've started, because I'm doing stitches I've never done before. And a stitch pattern, I said to Kay last night, the pattern of stitches is totally unique. I've never done anything like it. And I know I'm not that prolific a knitter, but I've done a fair few projects now for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Lots of hats and socks and things. But I'm so drawn to that border. Just show everyone that border. Because I just think it is the most gorgeous thing.
It is.
And I look at that and I think if I was sat, and I'm going, do you know what? I'm going to knit one of these.
Yeah, and it has like a little garter edge right on the edge here, and then this stitch is slipped. And by slipping this very edge stitch, it produces a really neat edging.
That's like the double knitting.
Oh, right,
slip stitch edging.
Yeah, it just produces a really pretty edging, whereas if you left it just as bare garter, if you know what I mean, at the end, it can sometimes be a little bit lumpy, not lumpy, but sort of bumpy on the edge, whereas this is very, you can see it produces a lovely smooth finish, and it blocks really nicely as well. It's nice and stretchy.
Do you think, now you see, I look at that and I just think I could never do that.
Oh, you could. It's not difficult.
Right.
It's not.
Cool.
It's not difficult at all. It's just there's twisted stitches. There's a cable. You know, nothing complicated at all.
It just looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's the type
Very
of
kind.
well,
I shall pay you later.
it's the type of thing that I think. Do you know how we've all got aspirational things, haven't we? Like for me, for a long time, it was double knitting, and now I'm doing it, which is just amazing. And when I look at the cables that I've knit, they feel a bit route one, you know. They're sort of, you know, it's a cable, and I'm proud of it. But that
it's lovely.
looks.
And I think the yarn really helps. It's very drapey, and I know, you know, some of you out there will have bought some of the yarn, and thank you very much. I'm packaging more yarn this morning. But it's very drapey, the yarn, because it's a single ply, and it just, I think it just helps with the whole thing when you've got that lovely drape and movement in it. It's just really pretty.
It is.
Yeah.
Stunning. Now, we're obviously in the process of answering some questions with regards to the bits and bobs and the Longbourn, but what we're going to be doing in just a moment, and it is just a moment, is we're going to be moving on to, I thought it would be fun to just have, you all seem to be loving the Desert Island discs, and we're just thrilled about that, because I've got to be honest, we're absolutely loving it too.
Yeah.
I mean, really loving it. And something amazing happened. So I'll tell you about that in a second. So in a moment, we're going to just chat a little bit about Desert Island discs, and it would be great to hear what some of yours are.
Shall I just talk one more thing?
But before we do
blanket?
that, yes, talk more on the blanket. And if you have
swatting a fly, don't start me on the flies.
That's the story of, if you've seen the start of 79. If you've got any more questions about the patterns, or patterns in general, now's the time to ask them, because we'll be moving on in just a second.
What does that say?
We've done it.
Oh, right, okay. I can't read his writing.
Ignore my shorthand.
I spoke earlier just about the border, and I haven't said what the border on the bits and bobs is going to be. I did want to put a border on. It will be optional. You don't have to put a border on it at all. It looks perfectly nice, you know, just as it is, because it lies totally flat because of the nature of the fabric. But I did want to put on a border, and there's actually an I-cord border that runs all the way around. And this took some figuring out, because often with an I-cord border, what it tells you to do is to pick up all the stitches first and then work your I-cord. That just wasn't feasible with the size of the blanket. So I've worked out a way of doing it, just, you know, picking them up as you go along. And I did this little, it didn't come out square whatsoever, as you can see. It's a very strange shape, but it just allowed me to practice the I-cord border. And I think I'm about there now, you know, and things like turning corners, that took a bit of figuring out and working out, but I think it's about there now. And you can see with this one, I just held, it was a pink background colour, and I used a rainbow self-striping yarn. Self-striping yarn looks fantastic in it. Depends how big your stripe is, but I was finding that one stripe got me to the end of a row. So when there is a section in it, actually, if I'll show you quickly, that's self-striping. It just looks so nice. Here it is. Can you see? Point to it. That one there.
Point to it. What?
Can you see that section there? That's a self-striping yarn.
That looks gorgeous.
I know. So
I love the green.
Yeah, so
that looks like your nails.
So self-striping yarn works brilliantly well. So it will have that I-cord border, and you know, there'll be full instructions on how to do it. I'm going to do a video tutorial on how to do it as well. It's not difficult at all, but it's definitely a technique, but it's really not tricky.
I think what I love about designing, and I mean through watching the process of someone else design, is the lateral thinking that goes on, and the sort of panic and then reward that you get when you come up with the solution by you know.
I like the panic. Did you hear
Well,
that?
I do. I see that because she
It does
cares.
tend to happen.
Because she cares so much about what she's doing. You know, she'll go into blind panic mode when she hits a blockage, and then that's when you earn your money, I think. Because that's the point where, as a designer, you have to come up with a solution that gives you the end that you're trying to create, whilst taking the tools that you have available to do that job. And do you know what it reminds me of?
It takes a lot of mental energy, it does.
I know I pull this regularly back to that, but what I'm witnessing, and I was thinking this the other day, is a musician playing in a band. Because you're constantly having to take the tools that you've got and to change them to make them work for the job that's in hand. And do you know what? It's a really inspiring thing to watch.
Well, Dan said to me yesterday when I was like, oh, I can't believe this, it's just not working. He said, well, why don't you just put it down for a couple of days and come back to it? And I can't do that. Because I wouldn't have been able to think about anything else.
You're like me though there.
And you know, it would have just been on my mind constantly. So I knew I had to figure it out. And I think I figured it out, so
now,
yay.
Never on P.O.P, never hesitate any time if a question comes into your mind and it is off topic. You never need to apologise for it being off topic. Just go ahead and ask it. And that's what Kim Hines did just a moment ago.
Oh,
she asked an off-topic question.
Yeah.
And that question was, oh wow, remember that, okay? Remember that. Is that cool?
Right, yes.
Cool. Kim asked if ever I was going to write a history book with pictures.
Ah, interesting. What does she mean by with pictures?
Will it have pictures in it?
Oh, not a novel then.
Well, you see, I totally could.
Yeah,
Right.
because you're thinking it's a novel that you're in.
Yeah, but I totally could. But I see, I don't know. I have, and you know, it's years away from being finished. But I'm 30,000 words into a book. I've got the story arc written, and the story arc, it really works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I know what's going to go on in the story, and it's all there. All I've got to do is just get it down on paper. Now, I'm 30,000 words in, and actually all of that 30,000 words was written before we ever started doing a podcast. What I was doing was just pulling together all the knowledge that I'd picked up from all the visits. It's partially set at Fountains Abbey, partially set at Jervo Abbey. And I will finish it, but it might take me another 10 years. So thanks for asking, Kim. And I so wish that we were able to just take a period of time and just block it out. But life's just not like that.
No.
So it always takes time. But I'm
Always
telling
takes
you,
time, doesn't it?
not only would this story be a great book, but it'd be an absolutely amazing film.
It would.
It would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
That question, who was it who said that? Kay. Kay mentioned the music.
The new music.
And she said that
Wasn't
she'd
it
had a real
lovely?
earworm. Do you know what, Kay?
I did too, actually, because I kept hearing it, because when you were editing it, I kept hearing little bits of it. Such beautiful music.
What has been amazing for us has been the ability to work with my brother, who's unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
And he has an amazing network of musicians who come in and regularly record in his studio. And one of them, actually, I can include in myself.
Yeah.
Although I don't go into his studio, what I do is I can record stuff here and I can send them to him. So what we've started doing is I do some work for him and then he pays us back in music for the podcast. And to be able to sit down with him was great, wasn't it? We were able to go through and look at music and then go back and say, no, we'd like this or we'd like that. And to work with a composer and a producer created what you heard. And I'm humbled by it, to be honest. It's amazing. So I'm so glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, super lovely.
And both of those new ones are just so nice. So thanks for saying that.
I think music makes something. I always say that about films, don't I?
Yeah.
And it's so true, I think. It's so true.
Courtney Coleman has just asked, is the book that I'm writing fiction? It is a mixture of, I'm a great believer in historical fiction, because I really feel that when you read historical fiction, when it's properly woven into a real, not made up, and this is why it takes time, the setting I'm writing in is factual, so I have to get the facts right, but the character and the story is fiction. It's time to talk about some desert island discs.
Oh.
Now, we really want to know if you were about to be deserted on an island.
Oh, look. Trudy Ford's been watching Poldark.
Oh, well.
And we're seeing
We'll see Harry next week.
We'll see Harry next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is Charles Poldark, is his name Charles?
Jeffrey Charles.
Jeffrey Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's currently waiting on if they're going to keep him on for the next series.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
But he's just done an audition at the National Theatre, and
Yeah.
he's got a film coming out
Yes.
in September or
Yeah.
October, and it's called Breathe.
Yeah.
And he's a main character in that. He plays the son of a guy. I think he's got MS.
Right.
Can't remember, and it's set years ago. It's a true story, but it's a big film, so look out for that. It's called Breathe. But Desert Island Discs.
Yeah.
Now, we've been sharing some of our favourites, and it's been wonderful to see how many Duranis there are out there.
What's wrong with the Duran Duran fans?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
They're a high quality band, and I would never
Yes.
ever dispute that. And I think Simon Le Bon's a handsome chap even now.
Yeah, he never did it for me, Simon Le Bon, actually.
Right.
He was never one of my favourites.
He's a pretty boy,
I think,
isn't he?
you know, yeah, he's quite a pretty boy. I don't go for pretty boys.
Thanks. So he goes for rugged, handsome, good looks.
No, I think John Taylor was another one of the favourites, wasn't there? There was two John Taylors, wasn't there, in the band? The bass player, was it the bass player or the guitar player?
Two John Taylors in Duran Duran.
There was Nick Rhodes,
Yeah.
John Taylor, Simon Le Bon, Roger Taylor. No, there was two Taylors. There was
Right.
Roger Taylor and Nick Taylor.
Were they related?
No,
Right.
no, there was two Taylors, sorry. Roger Taylor. No. Roger Taylor, John Taylor, and it can't have been Nick Taylor as well. I'm going to have to look up, I've totally forgotten. It was Nick Rhodes.
Yes.
No, it was Nick Rhodes.
Yeah.
There was one other fella.
Two Taylors. Helena knows.
Oh. Somebody's going to tell me in a minute, aren't you? But anyway, yeah, Duran Duran, fantastic. Yeah.
So we really want to know, whilst I waffle on for just a moment about something to do with music, please tell us. We'd love to know if you could take two tunes with you. You're about to be deserted on a desert island. You can only take two. Tell us what those two tunes would be. And while we're waiting for you to share that with us, I just want to tell you the most amazing thing that happened today. A patron.
Oh, gosh.
So I mentioned the Buddy Rich Memorial concerts are the most inspirational concerts for professional musicians that I'm aware of, and just about any professional musician I ever talk to will always reference these concerts. And they were put on by Buddy Rich's daughter, Kathy Rich. And this is what I was referring to when I was talking about Sister Sadie, the song I mentioned in episode 79. Well, we get a message from a patron, and the patron says, I couldn't believe it when you mentioned that. Kathy Rich, she's a really good friend of ours. She's just been on tour in the UK, and they store all the equipment for the band at one of our warehouses. I'm like, oh my goodness! I mean, seriously, this band, because of their history, because Buddy Rich was so seminal and instrumental, great word actually for using in music, from the music industry as a whole, because he played with Frank Sinatra and so many of the famous people. She can ask anyone to play and they come and play, so she knows everybody. But also, Kathy Rich is also a really good singer, and I've seen her sing at concerts and all sorts. It's just amazing. It just makes you realise, doesn't it, what a small world it is.
It is.
I wonder if she knits.
I wonder.
How amazing would it be if Kathy was watching one day and
Yeah.
said hi? I'd be like, oh my goodness. I think that would be the point when I would explode. Jeanette Mortimer, my two would be...
Purple Rain and rain theme.
It's raining men, she said.
Yeah.
I love It's Raining Men.
Yeah.
Rebecca Malloy, Start Me Up, Rolling Stones. That's a cool song. That's
Street in the Sky.
That's on one of my running playlists. I love that. But I'm loving Jeanette Mortimer. I mean, what?
Purple Rain and It's Raining Men.
It's Raining Men.
Student nurse days. Were you a nurse, Jeanette? Did we know that?
I knew she was.
Jeanette?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if I knew that, Jeanette.
Amazing.
Gosh.
Amazing. But I mean, what great choices. And I love that about this, because I would never have guessed either of those for you, Jeanette. Purple Rain, he was such an amazing musician.
He was, and gosh, yeah, another one gone.
Prince was I mean, I knew he was good before he died, but after he died, you start to, I think it's like artists, you look into them more. I mean, stunning. Tears for Fears, Penelope Dubois.
Tears for Fears.
It's a mad world.
Fantastic. George Michael, Penelope. Oh, yeah.
What a singer.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, just amazing. Peter, Paul and Mary. What did they sing, Courtney?
Gosh.
I'm not sure what
they're
they
quite
sang.
a way back, aren't they, Peter, Paul and Mary? Are they 70s or 60s? I don't know. What era are they? I don't know. Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da.
Another one,
cool.
Another by Prince.
String
String
of Pearls.
of Pearls. Another. Oh yeah, she watched Purple Rain. I don't know if I've seen the film actually, Jeanette.
No, I haven't either. Imagine by John Lennon.
Puff the Magic Dragon.
It must be.
Oh, Peter, Paul and Mary did Puff the Magic Dragon.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
Love is all that matters, don't know that. Just the way you are. Marlisha, I love Billy Joel. Me and
Billy
Bryony.
Joel, we love Billy Joel.
Me and Bryony are currently really enjoying the ballad of Billy the Kid. And that's a Billy Joel song I've never heard.
Right.
And it's just brilliant. What a pianist he is. Oh, we're both too young for Peter, Paul and Mary.
Don't feel young, Vanessa.
No, Vanessa put a winky face at the end of that.
Oh.
I suspect she's being...
Oh, we're not too young at all. She's cheeky.
John Lennon and the Stones. People are big at Blowing in the Wind.
Blowing
Right,
in the Wind.
I didn't know that.
Led Zeppelin. Oh, Helena, you'd get on like a house on fire with Steve.
Helena, first of all, Rod Stewart, Stay With Me, yes. And Led Zeppelin, I mean, you've got to get the lead out, haven't you,
John
at some
Denver.
point?
Oh, Rocky Mountain High, John Denver.
Oh.
I love John Denver. I love John Denver.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain High.
Oh,
no.
I know that one.
I know Rocky Mountain Way. Rocky Mountain Way is by Joe Walsh.
No, I know that one.
Joe Walsh, what was the band he was in before? I can't remember.
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh is a member of the
Eagles.
Eagles.
Jill
Yeah.
Page, the Eagles, fantastic.
How funny is that?
Van Morrison, yeah.
Joe Walsh is in the Eagles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He joined them. My mum, Jill, hers and Steve's song, my stepdad, it's a Van Morrison song.
Oh,
You
really?
Are So Beautiful to Me.
Oh, right.
Which, when you think about your mum and
You don't like to think about that, do you?
No, thanks.
No.
Their other song is You're My Best Friend.
Footloose.
By Queen.
Well,
Oh, yes.
obviously.
What band was Kenny Loggins in?
Was he in a band?
I'm sure
or
he was in a
just-
band before he went solo and sang Footloose.
Yeah.
And he also sang Danger Zone too, didn't he?
Yeah, Kate just said if we were on an island, it'd be a great party, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Logging and Messina.
Ooh,
I don't know
Don't
those.
know that. Oh, she's misspelt it. Kenny Loggins, does she mean? No. We just said that, didn't we?
Yeah. Loggins. Oh, was that a band? Loggins and Messina was a band. Ah.
Oh,
Wow.
right.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool.
What amazing knowledge you've all got. I know nothing.
Well, this is what music is such an amazing subject.
Hadaway. I quite liked Hadaway as well.
I don't know what they sang. In
What
fact,
is
I've
love?
never even heard.
What is love?
I
You know what is love.
No, Rebecca, I don't know Loggins and Messina. Do I need to go check them out?
Oh, I'm sorry, I need to know about a band who sang House on Pooh Corner. What is that?
Pooh Corner, as in Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know Loggins and Messina.
No.
This is shocking. You're all absolutely shocked, aren't you?
House on Pooh Corner.
I've never heard
Winnie the
of the
Pooh.
song. House on Pooh Corner.
We're going to check this out. We're going to totally check
There's
this
a song
out.
about Winnie the Pooh.
It's a lovely song.
Well, I need to hear it.
Oh, look, June, we're being... They sound together, they're great. Loggins and Messina, yes.
Oh, gosh.
Everyone knows them. We're like,
Apparently, apart from us.
what have we been doing all these years?
I know.
It's a
Listening to
total
Duran
disgrace.
Duran, obviously.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Now, whilst you guys keep throwing out some of your favourite tracks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch in for our $10 giveaway.
Right. Yes.
So every month we do, except they're not called $10 patrons anymore, they're called gold patrons.
Gold.
Our God always believe
we could
in
sing.
your soul. So this is the random number prize draw we do every month for gold and
Apparently,
platinum
the
patrons.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band sang House on Pooh Corner.
I have no idea who they are.
Helene, I'm just...
This is such a...
You
I'm
were
learning all the
babies
time.
then. Oh, gosh.
So the winner is 112.
Right.
I will now find out. I've forgotten how to speak again.
Find out.
I will now find out.
You're trying to speak really posh.
I sound like someone off Monty Python, I think there. If you show the prize.
Well, it's another skein of the soft kitty, because I had two. So it's another skein of the soft kitty is going to be the... I'm going to hold it in the wrong place, clearly.
You just hold it about it, yeah.
So that's going to be the prize.
And the winner?
Yes.
The winner?
It's an exciting person.
I'm stupidly excited.
Who is it?
It's Betty!
Betty! This is unbelievable.
Stone the crows, Betty!
Betty, I've just packaged up a parcel for you today. I can pop this in. I will pop it in for you, in with your package today. How fantastic is that? You don't need to do anything, Betty. You will just get that.
Karen Potter, I can tell you categorically that my mama does dance. She dances very well.
Ah.
Karen's just told me that
That's
my
good
mama
to
doesn't
know.
dance. I'm guessing that's a song, Karen.
Right.
Yeah. Look, Celine. Hi, Celine. Celine's going to start listening to all the bands we mentioned. Yeah, do it.
Celine is the person we were talking about the other day.
Well, I don't know. So,
The lady in Hong Kong.
well, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
know.
Celine, are you in Hong Kong? I was watching you, if that is you.
I'm going to start listening to the guys you mentioned. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yes, cool. Okay, so we know the winner.
Yep.
So Betty doesn't need to do anything, does she?
No, I can add it to your parcel, Betty.
Cool.
I love
cool.
your name. I said to Bryony the other day, we always talk about pretend if we had like a dachshund, because I'm not going to get one.
We'd call it Betty.
We'd call it Betty.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just such a cute, it's the cutest name in the world.
Yes. So we're coming to the end. Yes, it is.
Oh, I was born
Yeah.
in 71, so that's my excuse for not knowing that, because I was just a tiny babe.
Celine is saying yes.
Celine,
Yes.
it is you. You said it was boiling in Hong Kong, the one I was watching. I just felt so sorry for you. I was like, oh, you poor thing. So humid. I just thought it's going to be so humid.
Yes, yeah. So we're coming to the end of our special July. Is it July?
It is July.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Our special July pop. Now, we'll be back, of course, next month. I'll tell you at the start. Now, we have a huge amount going on next month, and it's all super exciting stuff. But, well, yeah, we can't say anything more at the moment. You do not want to miss it. We're going international with our new adventures. So there's an awful
Makes
lot.
it sound very far away.
Well, it is.
Oh, well, that's...
Well, it is. Get in a plane and travel that distance, and I think you get halfway around the world.
What?
If you got in a plane and travelled the distance we're going to go, you'd be in America.
We're only going about 400 miles, aren't we?
Well, no, don't do it in mileage.
I don't understand
It's
what
in
you're
the time.
saying.
The time. Look, don't worry.
I'm very confused.
It's fine.
We're not getting on a plane.
No. Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Alright,
matter.
alright.
So there's an awful lot going on next month. So I'm not completely certain when the next pot will be. So we'll put that out at the start of August. So we'll let you know. But it will, of course, be in August as usual.
Yeah.
But what's coming up? We have the New Adventures episode 4. And if you enjoyed our little sharing the screen with Robin,
Yes.
we have another special guest
We
coming
do.
on for our very special Longbourn launch show.
Yeah.
And she's a specialist
Yeah.
from a particular time of history.
Yeah.
And we're going to be exploring that when we go on our next new adventure. It should be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
When we sat down and we developed the New Adventures idea, this was at the top of the list
Yes.
for
Yes.
where we're going. And it could never be...
It's kind of like a pilgrimage for
It
me.
is. It is. And it could
is.
never be Folk Place Snick because it's just too far. So, we're going to be setting off early and getting back slightly late, probably having tea on the way home.
That's okay.
But it's going to be worth it, and you will be coming with us every step of the way. Now, you'll get a sneak peek, actually, of where we're going if you watch the next behind the scenes. Because the next behind the scenes is us getting the photographs for the patent.
right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So don't miss that. That's out a week on Tuesday. But of course, next Tuesday, you start your bag tutorial.
Yes.
Now, you're not doing the field bag, but what you are doing is a bag that if you scaled up,
Yes,
is a
I
field
think,
bag.
I don't know if I confused people on the last podcast because I showed the bag I'd made, which was like the size of a field bag. I don't show you how to make that size. It's just a sock size, but it's exactly the same technique if you wanted to scale it up and make your own field bag size.
So we're going to
bag.
put the sizes somewhere, are we?
Yeah, what I'll get Dan to do is I'll get him to put up on the screen when I'm talking about the cutting out of the fabric and things. I'll get him to put up.
Well, I'll put it in the show notes.
In the show notes.
Yeah.
If you want a bag that's roughly the same size as the field bags, then I'll give you the dimensions that I cut the fabric.
Cool. Cool. So that starts on Tuesday next week. And that, I think, is it.
Is that everything?
That is the end of our July 2017.
Helena was born in 1971 as well.
Oh.
We're like twinsies,
Yes.
Helena.
I know. That's so cool. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Sorry about the slight little blip in the middle with the technology, but whoever said drop out and then come back in again, it's sort of half work for us because it doesn't say video interrupted. We've just got Kay looking at the screen, looking rather puzzled. I might take a picture of that actually and post it in. Oh, then no, it'll drop off when I say it doesn't matter. But thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
We will see you.
I only drank half of my tea. I need another cup.
Is it peppermint?
No.
Sorry. Oh, I only drank part of mine as well.
I need to make another cup.
We will see you a week on Friday for the Longbourn launch show.
Yes.
Yes. How
Gosh,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you then.
See you soon,
Kay,
everybody. Oh, what?
do a little sign dance while I go turn off the light camera.
Don't be ridiculous.
You should have worked on something.
I should have worked on something.
Fill the space.
I'll do that for the next one, shall I?
A joke.
I don't do jokes.
No, you
You
can,
know I don't do
look
silly
one up, look one up.
things. I don't do silly things, everybody.
Say bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
But of course.
We're still going.
Oh, now you're slick.
I looked down. Did you see what
I'm
I did
impressed.
there? Did you
I'm
see
impressed.
What I did there?
A true professional there.
Oh, thank you.
I'm suitably stunned by your
I
professionalism.
shall send you a bill.
So, everybody, I think we should let them into a little secret.
What's the secret?
Well, it's only really very special people, I think, who watch the recording and get right to the very end. So it's going to be really interesting.
To see how
Well,
they do.
I think we should tell them what we're going to go hunting for this summer.
Oh, right, okay.
So
What-
if you have stayed here till now, we're now going to let you in on a huge secret. And that is our international favourite places to knit. Last summer, we took you on a hunt for Harry Potter. And we thought, and you all loved it, so we thought we need to do something similar this year. But we thought we need to look for something a bit more harder to find. And actually, arguably, real. Because of course Harry's fictional.
That's true.
So you know,
Kind of, this is too.
but you could talk to even members of your own family
Well, that's true.
who would
but
tell you
They
that-
are bonkers, so.
that this is real. So, ladies and gentlemen, this summer we will be taking you on the hunt for the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
How exciting is this? We're going to be taking you to Drumnadroshit Castle. Now that's hard to say.
I can only think of Scooby-Doo when you say
Yeah,
that.
I know,
There's a
I know.
Scooby-Doo thing.
Go watch Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster,
Yeah.
and we're going to be taking you to that castle. There's also a film with Liam Neeson where he goes hunting for this, and also the poor lady who died in the skiing, his wife.
His wife.
But it
That's
wasn't his
terrible.
wife, it was his sister-in-law
Oh,
who
right.
was in the film too. Vanessa Redgrave's daughter. Can't remember her name. But we're so unbelievably excited about this. It's a place that we haven't been to in years.
A long time.
I mean,
yeah.
like, I think it was our first ever holiday together.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be amazing. And amazing to take Bryony, but also amazing to take you guys along to Drumnadroshit Castle as we take you to Loch Ness. And we discover...
Maybe we will find Nessie.
Well, there you go.
You never know, do you?
We will discover what this mystery is, who's seen him, who hasn't seen him.
It's enormously deep, you know that lot.
I know it
Isn't
is.
it like a mile deep or something
No, it's-
ridiculous?
now-
It could be down there, couldn't it?
We went on a boat trip on the lakes and you enjoyed it.
Yes.
So can we totally do a boat
Can
trip?
you go on a boat?
You totally
on
can.
Loch Ness? Well, yeah,
You can pick
okay.
one up in
Depends how big
Inverness.
the boat is.
They're big ones.
All right,
They're
that's
big
fine
ones.
then.
I
I'm not
think-
going in a rowboat.
I have a feeling that you can... Oh, this will be perfect if you can. I'm 99% certain that you can get a boat from Inverness to Drumnadroshit and then back again.
Oh,
And that
right.
would save us driving all the way down Loch Ness.
Right.
That would be cool if we could do that.
Yeah.
Because then we could film all the way anyway. So you can see it's going to be fun.
So yes,
Now,
going to Scotland.
you can't tell anyone.
Don't
you
tell
know.
anyone.
But what you can do is you could post like a cryptic picture maybe of Scooby-Doo or even a picture of Loch Ness. No one will guess. Post on Instagram or in the Facebook group and just put on it, I know. And let's see who knows. Let's see who's watched it this far. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks everybody.
And we'll see you next month for the next Bob Line.